We, the jury, find the defendant is guilty of murder in the first degree as charged in the indictment.
From being the youngest person in history to be sentenced to life.
There is probable cause to charge the individual with being found over before General Sessions Court for more charges.
To the moment they realize it was the biggest mistake of their life.
Heirlooms are no longer important, and events like taking your son and grandson fishing for the first time.
These are children facing horrible sentences. This is Lionel Alexander Tate, the youngest person in America ever sentenced to life in prison. Here's the story. On July 28, 1999, in Pembroke Park, Florida, 12-year-old Lionel was at home while his mother, Kathleen Grosset Tate, was babysitting 6-year-old Tiffany Unick. Kathleen eventually went upstairs, leaving the two kids alone. A normal evening suddenly turned into something horrifying. Around 10:40 p.m., Lionel rushed upstairs to tell his mother that Tiffany wasn't breathing. He claimed they had been play fighting and that he accidentally hurt her. Lionel weighed about 170 pounds at the time. Tiffany weighed just 48. He said he had her in a headlock and that her head hit a table, knocking her out. But the autopsy showed something far worse. Tiffany had 35 separate injuries: a cracked skull, a broken rib, a torn liver, damaged kidneys, bleeding in the brain, and bruises all over her body. These weren't the marks of a simple accident or one wrong move. They pointed to a severe, prolonged beating.
While many observers were stunned by the grand jury's decision, Pedowitz says they had simply responded to the evidence he presented.
They had an opportunity to indict him for something lesser, such as a second-degree murder charge.
By 2001, Lionel Tate was on trial for first-degree murder. The court found him responsible for Tiffany's death, making him the youngest person in U.S. history to receive a life sentence with no chance of parole.
We, the jury, find the defendant is guilty of murder in the first degree as charged in the indictment.
What made the case even more disturbing was Lionel's behavior during the trial. Instead of showing any sadness or guilt, he appeared emotionless, even smiling at Tiffany's family at one point. For many people in the courtroom, that moment said everything about how disconnected he seemed from the gravity of what he had done. While Tate is the youngest to be sentenced to life, the next suspect decided to play with fire, literally.
There is probable cause to charge the individual with being found over before General Sessions Court for more charges.
This is Jacob Morgan, a troubled teenager who set his own home on fire on October 26, 2021. The blaze killed his young stepbrother, Joshua Alexander Hill.
It's a significant burn pattern, as he described it. It could have been alcohol, it could have been something else that gets consumed by the fire, but a significant burn pattern shows that there is something said significant and intentional. And at that point, to start fire in that room is ignorance, and to walk away, not trying to extinguish that fire, and immediately starting another fire in the living room, and then to claim it's an accident, that it got out of control, that's an extreme recklessness, and that's intent, that's maliciousness, that's a definition of malice.
In court, Jacob broke down in tears and prayed, saying he was sorry, but the judge focused on the harm done. Jacob was given a life sentence, a harsh reminder that actions have consequences. The case showed reckless choices, intent, and chaos. There wasn't much room for mercy, and he had to accept full responsibility.
There is probable cause to charge the individual with being found over before General Sessions Court for more charges.
As the verdict was read, the fear on Jacob's face and his cries underlined how serious the crime was and how heavy the punishment. Despite his regret, there was no escaping the outcome. His life, and many others, will always be marked by this tragedy. Coming up next, we have a girl who destroyed her family.
I would like to apologize to my family for not being the daughter they wished I would be.
This is about Roxana Sikorsky, a 15-year-old in Michigan. Prosecutors say she planned with her 23-year-old boyfriend, Michael Rivera, to kill her parents. And she stabbed her 12-year-old brother in the throat. Thankfully, he survived. Her parents are standing by her. They say Roxana struggles with mental illness and was easily influenced by Rivera.
And I promise that I will get better, no matter what happens. And I will see Lucas and Angelica again. I'm sorry.
Roxana is charged as an adult. Her bond is set at $1 million. She can see her parents, but she's not allowed any contact with her siblings. All 3 Sikorsky children were adopted from Poland after living in abuse and neglect. Roxana was described as a good kid who changed during her teen years. She was diagnosed with ADHD and PTSD and started medication. Last spring, she met Rivera on Facebook. After that, the trouble got worse. She snuck out to see him and once ran away for a couple of days. Police found her at his house. Her parents filed a statutory rape complaint against Rivera. Prosecutors now say they might dismiss that case while they look deeper. Roxana's lawyer says Rivera pushed her to attack because the family was pursuing those charges. According to prosecutors, on October 17th, around 2 a.m., Rivera waited outside the family's home and texted Roxana instructions, even telling her how to cut her brother's jugular vein. She stabbed her brother, tried to stab her sister, and ran. Police arrested her at Rivera's home. She told officers they planned to get married.
Ms. Sikorsky, it is the sense of this court that for your violation of MCL 750.83, assault with intent to commit murder, a charge that carries with it potential life imprisonment, that you be remanded to the Michigan Department of Corrections, first at the Calumet Center, for a period of 10 years to 20 years. You'll be given 528 days jail credit time. Do the people have a motion in regard to counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7?
We move to dismiss those counts.
Without objection. That motion is granted. The defendants undergo DNA testing.
Rivera was arraigned on 7 charges, including conspiracy to commit murder. Prosecutors say charging Roxana as an adult is rare but necessary because the plan to kill the whole family was truly haunting. Her attorney calls that move unthinkable, says Roxana needs treatment, and believes she may have reactive attachment disorder. She wants Roxana to be tried separately from Rivera. Roxana's parents hired the attorney and continue to support their daughter. They want her to get help, not be abandoned. Next one is a robbery gone wrong.
Possibility for extended supervision. I know that is something that is reserved for the most serious of cases, and
This is Shondell Jackson. He and his accomplice, Derek Thomas, tried to rob 19-year-old Nathan Potter as he was walking home. When they realized he didn't have money, they shot him and killed him. A young life was cut short for nothing. Jackson was convicted of first-degree intentional homicide and robbery. During the trial, Jackson showed no remorse. He even smirked and smiled at Nathan's family. Nathan's father, John Potter, spoke to Judge Rebecca Dallett, saying nothing could bring his son back, but asking the court to deliver real justice. Nathan's mother also spoke about their loss.
They shot him. They dragged him and kicked him to the curb. My son, my God-loving boy. What kind of people do this? But evil people. People that need to be locked up forever.
We were praying he would get life.
When Jackson was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, he exploded in court, shouting obscenities at the judge. Deputies had to step in, and the scene turned chaotic.
to life imprisonment without possibility for extended supervision. I know that is something that is reserved for the most serious of cases, and I believe that this case rises to
Officers used pepper spray to restrain him.
I'm very sorry for all the pain I forced the victims and their families to suffer through. I'm very sorry for stealing the lives of your loved ones. I cannot express how much I regret all the decisions I made leading up to my actions on May 14th.
This is Peyton Gendron, a white supremacist who carried out a racist mass shooting that killed black victims. During one of his hearings, chaos broke out when a family member suddenly rushed toward him, stopping the courtroom cold.
This morning, chilling new details on how the gunman behind the deadly mass shooting at a Buffalo, New York supermarket plotted his racist rampage.
In May 2022, Gendron, only 19 at the time, admitted he shot and killed 10 black people in a Buffalo, New York supermarket. His attack was driven by racial hatred. During the court proceedings, emotions boiled over when a relative of one of the victims charged at him, causing a brief disturbance.
My name is Barbara Massey. I'm Catherine Massey's sister. You killed my sister. Cat, I'm gonna tell you about my sister, Cat. Cat weighed 110 pounds, 72 years old. Cat would do anything for anybody, anytime. Cat was intelligent. She was a teacher. She was my best friend. She was anything at any given time. Cat was a protector.
During the victim impact statements, Barbara Massey, who lost her sister in the shooting, confronted Gendron directly. The tension snapped, and a man in the courtroom rushed past her toward Gendron. Officers and attorneys immediately stepped in, stopping anything from escalating.
And decide you don't like black people. Man, you don't know a damn thing about black people. We're human. We like our kids to go to good schools. We love our kids. We never go in no neighborhoods and take people out. Don't do it!
Gendron was quickly removed from the courtroom, and the man who charged was also guided out by police. With no charges filed, the day was filled with heartbreaking statements from grieving families. In an unexpected moment, Gendron apologized to the survivors and families, saying he regretted his actions and admitted he targeted black people on purpose. Right as he finished, a woman's scream echoed through the courtroom, showing how deep the pain still runs. Gendron's attack was streamed live on Twitch. Before the shooting, he posted a racist manifesto inspired by other hate-driven killers. He traveled about 200 miles to a supermarket in a mostly black neighborhood, choosing the location to kill as many black people as possible with an assault-style weapon.
I'm very sorry for all the pain I forced the victims and their families to suffer through. I'm very sorry for stealing the lives of your loved ones. I cannot express how much I regret all the decisions I made leading up to my actions on May 14th. I did a terrible thing that day. I shot and killed people because they were black.
His victims were between 20 and 86 years old, a mix of employees and shoppers. Gendron pleaded guilty to 25 charges, including first-degree murder and hate-motivated terrorism. He was sentenced to life in prison.
I want anyone to be inspired by me and what I did.
You don't need that! Out of here! You don't need that!
His sentencing came just after another mass shooting in Michigan, adding yet another reminder of the ongoing gun violence crisis in the United States. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments down below.